Beautiful scenery, minimalistic UI, hunting score, and puzzle mechanics that will have you soaring like a literal bird one minute and playing as a child the next. What is not to like about Vane? Well, a few things. Vane was played on Windows and a review key was kindly provided by Friend and Foe Games. Vane takes you to a world of deserts and storms, dotted with signs of past civilization and watering holes, and throws you at the environment with no warning or story. This is very much developer Friend and Foe's stated intent. Provide no clues or story, but let the setting speak for itself through environmental storytelling. This is also where some players will want to stop. There's nothing explicit, no hand-holding, no quest list and minimap with X marks the spot. Instead you'll fly above the scenery, scouting for the next thing that might help you forward, the next oasis, the next golden seeds, the next doorway, however long it takes. This idea of just exploring and taking in the world is the game's point, with puzzles that are largely straightforward and levels that mostly only have a single path through them. Yes, there are branches in a couple of places, and even the completely unnarrated story has them, but there's no way to outright fail or get lost. Depending on the player, there's perhaps 2.5 to 3 hours gameplay in the first playthrough. I spent just over 3 hours going at it slowly and walking away from the game at one point because of camera issues. Now, the game definitely has an aesthetic, whether you're flying across sand dunes, exploring a cave or pushing a giant ball through ruins, but there's a couple of points where it got difficult to tell whether certain effects, no spoilers, are part of it or might be glitches. As a reviewer, this is an uncomfortable position to be in, but as a player, it tears you out of this suspension of disbelief we all engage in. The game takes its origin on the PlayStation 4, releasing there in the beginning of the year, and you can feel it. Sometimes the camera is locked in position where you cannot easily walk down a path using WASD, or it rotates, making walking in a straight line awkward without a controller. And that camera remains the biggest issue throughout the game. It moves from side to side, pulls back or in close depending on the scene, much like plenty of other games, but somehow it keeps getting in the way or stuck behind walls or just fight with the player as you try to look around. No other game I've seen has made simply viewing it this difficult, and for a game focused on showing off its world, this is doubly frustrating. Conclusion rating. There's an excellent little gem here marred by issues that should have been addressed since the PlayStation 4 release, and all I can hope for is that Friend and Foe Games take another stab at this sort of thing, because it's definitely not a bad game. Design, we gave it an 8. In sheer terms of visuals and sounds, the game is great, ignoring some effects early in the game, and mechanically it's mostly well made. Character controls get clunky, especially in the last level, and the camera is almost constantly fighting with you, but regular movement on ground and in the air works very well. As to challenge, a 5. There's a couple of places where the puzzles aren't straightforward, and the ending can be rushed into headlong or spend a bit of time on to look for alternatives. A second playthrough doesn't seem to change much of anything though. Fun, we scored it an 8. Fun's definitely the wrong word for this category here, but there's an experience to be had. Whether it's a good one comes down to how the individual views these, and many will argue that Vane is less of a game and more of an experience, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. Longevity and replayability, well, 4. If you're super focused, the first playthrough can be done quickly, and there's no obvious reason to go back for more. Half an afternoon or a late evening, and Vane is done. Finally, price, 4. At the time of this review, Steam doesn't show a price yet for this game. PlayStation Network, where it's been out since January 15th, listed for around 22 bacon tokens, which seems on the high end of the scale for what you get, considering the alternatives that are available. At, say, 10 to 15 beer tokens, it would be a good buy, but even then only if you're okay with this sort of minimalistic experience. Our overall score, we've given it a 5.8 out of 10. And can just say, please try again. Well, my name is G, and this was our review of Vane. If you liked it, hit the like button, subscribe button, thumbs up over on Facebook, and you can stay tuned for more game reviews, previews, and game dev interviews. Also, join our Discord, where we talk about this and many other things.